Great. Well, good evening and welcome to the Assembly Member Selection Event for the Washington Climate Assembly, Washington State's first ever Climate Assembly. My name is Gretchen and I will be your host for tonight. So what is a Climate Assembly and why is it so important? A People's, or sometimes referred to as Citizens' Assembly, is a democratic process that seeks to answer a question or solve a problem facing a community in a way that fairly represents the interests of people from all walks of life. An assembly can center around any topic, and in the case of a climate assembly, the climate assembly is one that centers around the problem of climate pollution. Assemblies have been used worldwide to help shape the work of governments. At the Washington Climate Assembly, 80 randomly selected Washingtonians, through a process known as civic lottery or sortition, will come together to learn about the issue of climate pollution. They'll take time to discuss the issue and potential solutions with one another. And then, ultimately, we'll recommend climate change solutions for consideration by the state legislature. Another very exciting element of this assembly is that every Washingtonian that is selected tonight comes to this assembly to listen, to learn from others, and make their own decisions about how they vote on the final recommendations without the pressures that politicians often face when grappling with policy decisions. So what were our steps for assembly member recruitment? We called 6,333 households via random digit dialing, also referred to as RDD. We used a longtime RDD sample provider, Scientific Telephone Samples, for RDD sample development. This method reaches both landline and cell phone users, and these samples are based on assigned numbers for landline or billing zip code for cell phone users to ensure the numbers we targeted were within the target market for this assembly. Once those of you who are willing and able RSVP to us, a volunteer team from Carnegie Mellon University and Harvard used an algorithm that they developed to generate a list of 10,000 assembly compositions. Each one of these assembly compositions has a mix of 80 potential assembly members that reflect the makeup of Washington State, with approximately half men, half women, an age range from 16 years old on, across congressional districts, income levels, across race, ethnicity, and education level, as well as representing a range of opinions backed by earlier studies about whether global warming is happening, whether it's caused mostly by human activities, and whether the individual is worried about global warming. Each panel composition also includes a set of 10 backups or alternates who could act as substitutes for panel members who drop out of the process. The algorithm ensures that within the limits of what's possible, while generating representative assemblies, no pool members appears in too few panel compositions. What that means is that each of the pool members has a probability of at least 29% to be chosen for the assembly and a chance of at least 39% to be chosen at all as the assembly member or as a backup or alternate. Each of these possible combinations is identified by a unique number from 0000 through 9999. To get to our unique 4-digit number, I'll be rolling 4 dice one at a time, and each of the 10-sided die that are sitting on the table next to me will select just 1 digit of that 4-digit number. Together, these 4 10-sided dice will give us a 4-digit number, which we will use to determine the group of 80 that will be chosen for the assembly along with the 10 alternates. And in just a moment, I'll be rolling 4 dice announcing the individuals that will serve on the assembly. This truly is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you to work with Washingtonians from around the state on a very, very complicated issue. It's an opportunity for you to have a voice and to help shape future decisions about climate change. Before we do our dice rolling, we wanted to share some videos and quotes with you of individuals in the lottery sharing why this assembly is important to them and why they'd like to serve.
My name is John. I live in Vancouver, Washington. I feel this is a great opportunity for my voice to be heard, as well as to join with other voices to make a legislative impact if we find that there are multiple wrongs that we're doing to our environment, and that if we have the power to change things and reverse directions, we should. that's within our power as a group, as an empowered element in our society. And it's more of a um, bottom-up concept, which a fully democratic society should have, where the citizens are complaining and seeing the wrongs being done to their homes, their environments, and to push for legislation to reverse it and correct it.
Spokane, Washington.
So this is important to me because I have children and I really want to be able to impact what their future is, and this is going to be important for their future. I chose this because I've never actually had an opportunity to make a difference like this in a scale like this. So I think it would be really interesting to be able to participate in this.
Hi, my name is Sabrina, and I'm currently in Seattle, Washington right now. Why is the Washington Climate Assembly important to me? I think it's very important to me because as someone that, I consider myself, pretty aware, I feel like there's never enough awareness and that I can always do better on my own part with a lot of people during this time maybe have heard of, just using like reusable tote bags and straws and things like that, like things we can do day-to-day life that will change, and just be more environmentally friendly. But on a bigger scale, a lot of us are not aware. A lot of us, I feel like it's such a big consumerism, world that we live in that we would easily get sucked in to, doing these things, participating, but not really knowing what are the causes, or is what we're doing really effective, or is it just to for us to have more products and buy into these businesses that some of them maybe they mean well, but just because we're buying more tote bags and reusable straws and water bottles does not mean that we're climate change is not ongoing and only getting worse and worse.
My name's Zach. I'm from Bothell, and I think it's important to serve on this assembly because I was given the opportunity. And just like jury duty, when you're given the opportunity to serve, you serve. And why I chose to serve is my duty as a Washingtonian to share the perspective of one man in this particular position. And I think everyone who's offered the opportunity should do the same.
Hi, my name is Barry and I live in Bellevue, Washington. There's going to be a lot of different factions of people, which I think is really important because something that I wouldn't think about, somebody else would think about. And that's the good part about all this. We didn't get into this situation overnight, and I don't think that we can get out of it overnight, but we can sure make a good stab at it. Solar power, wind power, hydroelectric, renewable, the world used to light itself with whale oil, and we don't do that anymore. Fossil fuels will run out, and we have to find a way to power our economy and our lives with something else besides that. And it's exciting to be a part of it.
Excellent. Well, thank you all. It really is inspiring to hear why the Climate Assembly is important to you and why you are all excited to serve. We're equally as excited for both the selection of the Assemble members, which we'll be doing tonight, and the actual Assembly itself, as we have a great list of presenters lined up to share their backgrounds and perspectives on climate change. So what can you expect if you're selected tonight? For those that do get selected to serve on the assembly, we'll be calling you over the next few days, and you'll also receive a welcome packet with information to help get you started and excited about what you'll be participating in starting January 12th. We'll go over any of the accessibility needs that you may have to make sure that your technology needs are met, as well as any other special accommodations that you might need to help ensure your active participation in the assembly. I'm really, really excited to start rolling the dice so that you and we all collectively can learn who will be serving on the assembly. Good luck to everybody. And as a quick reminder, each die when rolled will select one digit of our 4-digit number. I'll be rolling each die separately and reading out the number of that die before rolling the next die. I'll complete this process for each of the 4 die, and then we'll read the 4 digits together in the order that they were rolled. I'll be starting with the first of the 4 numbers. Stay tuned for just 1 second. Excellent. So what you see in front of you is a cup that I'll be using to roll each die. You also see 4 boxes here. I'll be starting with the blue die, which is the thousands place. Once I roll it, you'll be able to see the number on the screen, and I'll also read the number. I'll remove it from the box and put it right here. And I'll do this next with the hundreds place, which was red, then the tens place, which is green, and then the ones place, which is yellow. At the end of me rolling each of the 4 die, I will then read off the full number. And at that time, we will match it to the composition of assembly members that meet that 4-digit number. And with that, I will go ahead and get started. The number here is 4 for the thousands place. The next number I'll be rolling is red for the hundreds place. The number here is 5, and I will put that right next to the blue number. The tens place, green, is what I'll be rolling next. That number is a 2. And the final number for the night in the ones place, a 9. So the combination of numbers that we have tonight, 4, 5, 2, 9. 4, 5, 2, 9. And in just a moment, we will be reading off the first name as well as the location of the panel that meets that number. 4, 5, 2, 9. All right.
No, wait.
Great. So 4529 is the panel number. And we have Alberto from Pasco, Amelia from Seattle, Amy from Spokane, Anglia from Federal Way, Barry from Bellevue, Bethany from Warden, Brianna from Seattle, Carrie from Lake Stevens, Charles from Ferndale, Chris from Linwood, Christina from Bremerton, Claudia from Ellensburg, Cliff from Wenatchee, Corbin from Bellingham, Corby from Linden, Curtis from Kirkland, Cynthia from Tacoma, Darren from Ellensburg, another Darren from Olympia, David from Spokane, David from Shelton, Dennis from Bothell, Denny from Moses Lake, Danelia from Cheney, Donna from Vancouver, Elaine from Goldendale, Elizabeth from Port Angeles, another Elizabeth from Bothell, Emma from Bellingham, Gabe from Vancouver, Gabriella from Spokane, Garrett from Cle Elum, Holly from Seattle, Jim from Bothell, Jack from Woodinville, James from Kennewick, Jason from Seattle, Jessica from Seattle, John from Olympia, John from Puyallup, Josie from Kent, Juan from Seattle, Judith from Vancouver, Julia from Richland, Karen from Soap Lake, Kate from Tacoma, Kathleen from Auburn, Kevin from Bellingham, Kimberly from Green Acres, Lori from Bothell, Linda from Bonnie Lake, Megan from Indianola, Michelle from Auburn, Michelle from Friday Harbor, Milton from Seattle, Mukti from Bellevue, Nathan from Bellingham, Neil from Spokane, Pedro from Blaine, Puneet from Sammamish, Rachel from Moses Lake, Ramiro from Squim, Rich from Federal Way, and rather I need to correct myself, Ramiro is from Hoquiam, Rich from Federal Way, Ridge from Seattle, Robert from Bellingham, Rod from Linwood, Ron from Stratford, Riley from Bellevue, Sabrina from Seattle, Scott from Marysville, Sharman from Snohomish, Sherla from Tacoma, Steve from Bellevue, Sue from Medical Lake, Teresa from Easton, Travis from Snohomish, Travis from Moses Lake, Victoria from Varadale, Vikas from Sammamish, and that completes the 80 assembly members, and I will also read the 10 backups or alternates. Anna from Vancouver, Christina from Oak Harbor, David from Vancouver, Dustin from Richland, Javier from Quincy, John from Vancouver, Katie from Spokane, Oliver from Puyallup, Richard from Moses Lake, and Russell from Yale. Congratulations to all of you for being picked via our process tonight. So what's next? The Washington Climate Assembly starts on January 12th. We'll be hosting a couple of office hours before then to help answer any questions that you may have and help walk through the online platform that we'll be using, because our meetings will be online and remote this winter. And we really do, everybody that tuned in tonight, we really welcome everybody to follow along with our process by visiting www.waclimateassembly.org. We'll be live streaming each of the learning sessions. We'll be sending out emails and social media updates at every step of the way. With polarization continuing to increase across a range of issues, assemblies are more important than ever. The Washington Climate Assembly will serve as an example of how people from all walks of life, representing a range of beliefs and viewpoints, can roll up their sleeves, find common ground on one of the century's defining challenges. So on behalf of our entire team, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and have a really wonderful night and a very happy holiday. Thank you.